Then forward or back, and he's playing in defence. So the last final of the first weekend of football is underway, and ball gets the first tap. Bolton came through. Leckis, good player he's been for Hawthorn. Chick, good control. There's a free kick.
Let's go to Hawthorn.
Yeah, Hawthorn ball.
Gee, he was a bit fortunate, Tony, I reckon. He had the ball, he was tackled, and he got the free kick when it could have nearly gone to the Swans.
I think the umpire was on the blind side too, Robbo.
Well, they almost made a meal of it then. Woods and Tallis recovering. Kick to the open spaces. Just couldn't handle it, Vandenberg. He's got the job on Maxfield, who, as we saw, has been a prime mover for the Swans. Kelly kicks it out wide for Goods, who's pushing up the ground. He can loop it over the top. O'Keefe coming into the side and onto the ground. The lead comes, but he goes longer. Doubling back with it is Kirk. It's almost online. It's gone through. An amazing kick. And what a great start.
Did well, that young fellow. He looked. He had to get back onto his favoured left side, but he did look, and the goal was unguarded.
And great play by Paul Kelly getting involved. Two good players. Goods to get an early touch on Crode. I'm not happy with that matchup. I think Goods might be too magical for him at times at ground level. And that ball, you need a bit of luck, Robbo. Could have bounced anywhere, but a good start to the Swans, especially with a couple of senior players involved.
Gee, what a start for a youngster in Ryan O'Keefe. He was not in the original lineup and came in when Nix was not able to take his place and McPherson was missing. O'Loughlin, magnificent hands. Williams just a little too emphatic. Vandenberg goes to Leckis. Leckis, the ball comes back towards half-back. Crode was in all sorts of strife. The umpires decided that it is a free kick. It might go to Crode, is it? No, it's Vandenberg who'll take the free kick for Hawthorn, just in front of the goal at which he is defending. He goes short. Leckis takes the ball. Crode accepting the hand pass, but was blocked. He got a second chance, Leckis. Crode will gather the ball and will kick. Gee, it floated through the air, but didn't Barlow do well? He goes out wide at the feet of Dixon. Couldn't take the mark. His recovery not bad. In there was Seymour. He knocked it clear. The advantages with the Swans. Shaubel's kick dropped short. The mark is taken by Jonathan Hay at half-back. He goes out very, very wide. Tony Woods takes the mark. Kicks it long past the wing, approaches half forward, no mark taken. The ball at ground level where Wren crashes into his own teammate there, and underneath that the player not able to get the ball clear, and that was Mark Graham. So the umpire will bounce between wing and right half forward, favouring Hawthorn.
Well, they're going in quite hard at the moment. He nearly dragged that in, and that was good play by Leo Barry holding the jumper. I think the umpire, you've got to be consistent though now. If they play it that way, keep it going.
So the Swans have had most of the play so far. They've been pretty aggressive, as have the Hawks. Crawford. Now it's a free kick, and it's going Hawthorn's way again. So they've had the early runs with the free kicks, but there's
That's a knee.
an injury. It doesn't look good.
That's the goal kicker, isn't it?
Yeah, O'Keefe.
They can't play on. They cannot play on while on. Yeah, you can see the knee go the other way. Hopefully it's not too bad for the youngster. Ryan O'Keefe. Oh.
Certainly looks bad, doesn't it?
It had to be a free kick to Shane Crawford because he had his head down, but that knee moved inwards then, and they can't play on because O'Keefe has gone down right where the mark is. Paul Williams is playing on Crawford.
So what do you think of the setup so far, Shorey, and also the way the game has been played?
I think the matchups are pretty well self-explanatory. Saddington has gone to Barker, Dunkley to Thompson, that suits. Nick Collins on the bench. Just one thing, Jade Rawlings, who has played in defence most of the year for the Hawks, has started across half forward, and Andrew Shaubel's picked him up. Barry's gone to Barlow, so in the forward line for the Hawks, the matchups, I think, pretty well suit the Swans defenders. Both sides are getting together.
We'll have another look here.
Yeah, gee, that knee went inside. If it's...
Actually, it had a little bit to do with Crawford. Just got hold of his leg. Did you notice that? As he went through, I'm sure Shane Crawford has just grabbed the bottom part of young O'Keefe's leg. That's not a bad sign that he's able to at least help himself to the stretcher. So with a bit of luck, it won't be too drastic.
There are some that you can walk with, Robbo, and there's others that you just can't. You only do one of the three or two of the three, but that was a good sign, hopefully, for the youngster. He'll have a great, well, not a great memory, the highs and lows in about 5 minutes of football.
Incredible, isn't it? Absolutely incredible. He was, his main aim there was to put an enormous physical pressure on the player with the ball, and I guess that's an instruction. I mean, early in the game, you're trying to assert some sort of authority.
Well, he's made an impact anyway on the game. Fosdyke coming on for him. So the Swans with the opening goal, and a potentially serious injury to the goal kicker in Ryan O'Keefe. Early stages of this match. Crawford still with the ball on the outer side of the ground. And naturally, all the Swans players have pushed back into defence, so it's going to be pretty congested when the Hawks restart play. That's all on that outer side of the ground. On the other side of the ground, there is space, so it'll be interesting to see whether he tries to somehow work it across to that space. The Hawks break. Crawford, still nothing really on offer. Barker leads. Goes longer for Chick versus Kelly. Chick got in good position. Good spoil from Kelly. He was careful not to get rid of it. He's going to be in a lot of, he could have been in a lot of trouble there. I think the umpire, well, perhaps a little fortunate, I think, then, Paul Kelly.
Well, the umpires have set the scene now. You can pull the ball in and be given a lot of time to get rid of it. As we can see there, Wayne Swass has gone to full forward. Joel Smith, his opponent.
Ball, what an impact he's had for the Swans this year. Williams, Thompson, Dixon, all around it. Billy Nichols, wobbly kick, it was relatively effective. Hay, gag tackle, that's such a great aspect of the Swans play. Not rewarded that time. Harford, now it's rewarded. A free kick going Sydney's way.
Gee, he was a little bit keen there, Jonathan Hay, wasn't he?
Seymour's kick onto the wing. Crawford, as we said, he'll be desperate today. Attacks it and wins it. And then he was wrapped up straight away. Crowed. A few fumbles for the Hawks so far. Barry, he left it behind as well. Harford, it's over the line.
That's the excitement of the final, isn't it? You know, you see players that normally grab the ball with one grab and they just spill it. It's just the the adrenaline pumping, isn't it?
You try and do too much, don't you, until it settles down.
Exactly. Well, ball doing the ruck work. The Hawks force it wide, close to the line again. Cresswell and Barlow see it over. The only score in the game is a goal kicked by the player right now that's his knee, Ryan O'Keefe. He's the goal kicker for the Swans, and very soon after that he crashed into the Hawk skipper and he's been taken from the ground. Thompson, underneath that is Kelly. Umpire plays everything fair and above board there, and will bounce right half forward for Hawthorn. Hawks have had the ball in this area now for probably a minute and a half, and not able to get it any further forward. It's about 55 metres from their goal. Barlow dispossessed. Spillage falls to Crawford. Up over the top was Barry. He tries to share it with Cresswell. That's come off a boot. It's out on the full, and it was a Hawthorn boot. I would think, no, it was a Swans boot. So the kick will be taken by Billy Nichols. Bit of a cult hero, isn't he, after coming from down Geelong way. Good, strong mark taken by Andrew Dunkley at half-back for the Swans. Oh, and a mongrel punt kick gave every opportunity for Tallis to get over and spoil. Gee, good support provided by Matthews. Maxfield, lovely left foot kick across the line, mark taken by Shawbull. No one really to go to. Matthews has run on. That kick is a little difficult for Matthews. The bounce was a little awkward. Able to stand, gather the ball, kick it to half forward. It was a spearing kick, so it went past the players in that area of the ground. Woods, taken away by Shawbull. Now in the finish, Crowd has interfered with Williams, and Williams will take the free kick for the Swans, and he's about 60 metres from goal. Paul Williams, very important player for the Swans if they're to win this match. The kick in towards the full forward area, a kick away by the Hawks defence. It'll be gathered. No, it won't. Dixon left it behind. Joel Smith under pressure. Kelly working industriously at half forward, and a scramble for possession. That could nearly have been a free kick because that Swans player there, Kirk, over the top of the football, but the umpire gave him the benefit of the doubt and will bounce.
Tony Shaw, just the match up there of Jonathan Hay on Michael O'Loughlin. How do you see that one?
Well, I think O'Loughlin might get him at ground level, and he's taking him to the square right now, Dougie, so they think that Hay always follows into the lead, so they'll play him deep.
Creswell, Swass on his wrong side, just kicked blindly around the corner, but as blind as it was deadly accurate, and Kirk has the shot on goal.
Well, he's playing across half forward, Kirk, and Mark Graham is picking him up. So we can see here Swass, a dangerous player. Joel Smith's got that job. Well, I don't think it was meant as a pass, Hutto, but still, you need a bit of luck. They had it with O'Keefe's first goal. Let's see if Kirk can make the most of it.
Well, they've made a pretty good start, the Swans, obviously, with the first goal. This for the second. It's pretty good. It's wobbling. It is just in.
It's a goal.
For a goal. No one seemed too sure. It was certainly a funny-looking kick up the boot, but it makes it through, and the Swans have got the opening couple.
Well, we can just see it again. There's no way known, I think, that Wayne Swass meant this pass. Just got it on the boot, trying to get it to the top of the square. And Brett Kirk, he's played across half forward, been a good find for him this year. But it was a wobbly old kick, Hutto. But still, doesn't matter how they go through.
So the scoring being done by Sydney. They lead 2 goals. Hawthorn yet to score. The bounce. Schwass, little right foot, not too bad. Kicked away by Bolton. Now the Hawks are a chance to gather. Again, you see that fumble by Tony Woods, but he was able to get it to Graham. Graham in towards half forward. Is that interference? Oh, gee, it could have nearly been deemed as such. It was Barlow and Shawbull. The spillage for Bolton. His handball was good to Kirk. Kirk has coughed it up a little, has he? No. Oh, magnificent. Give him the credit there that he deserves, because it bounced just inside and went over for a boundary throw in.
It was a good kick, though, Shorey, because there was only Hawthorn players to go to.
Well, it's become an art now, finding touch, hasn't it?
It goes another half a metre and it's out on the full. That's how close that was. Williams missed it. Vandenberg's handball. That was Jonathan Hay. No, it was Rawlings to Chick. Out wide, good mark. That's Jonathan Hay. Now Billy Nichols. Got a player out wide. It's Thompson. Has the kick gone far enough? It has. And Thompson, at the second grab, has marked safely at right half forward for Hawthorn. They've got a chance now. They'll get the ball into the scoring zone. Knocked away from Barker. Hand pass comes out. It was Crawford. In turn now, the pressure's right on here. Dixon, he can't get past the Schwass tackle. The hand pass was too emphatic. Lachlan Shaw ball handling. A little right foot kick, not too bad, goes out wide, bounces, Harford gets out to the footy, gathers, and then off the left, Harford skillfully in towards half forward. Chick doesn't waste any time. He goes straight towards goal and a good pass. Oh, Rawlings has dropped the sitter. Oh, down goes. Is that Kirk back there? And he will be awarded the free kick at half back for the Swans. Already a goal kicker. He and his fellow left footer, Ryan O'Keefe, have kicked the goals for the Swans. Cresswell and Schwass combine on centre wing.
So Swass advancing down the ground, had nowhere to go, and he also goes for the line. Doesn't quite get there, so the Hawks can team up. Hay in and out of trouble. Harford got a couple of options on the wing, doesn't hit either of them. Paul Williams gets the legs pumping, and the kick up towards Captain Kelly. He passes quickly into the square, and Goods will take the mark. And it'll be 3-0, and the Hawks have got themselves to blame at this stage.
Well, you go back to centre half forward. Jade Rawlings has just dropped the sitter. Again, the pressure of the situation, and there you can see the ability and the athleticism of Paul Kelly, and unselfishly just passes on to Adam Goods, who should have missed from here. But a lot of the Hawks players are fumbling, as you called, Robbo, early in this quarter. You've got to settle down and your left side's in, and that's what's happened early in this first quarter.
So Adam Goods comes in. He's kicked 32 goals, 17 for the year, making 33. They're just starting to fall down across half forward, the Hawks, and that's a bad kick, trying to centre the ball into the corridor by Harford. And once you do that and you turn it over, you know that you can kick to either side of the ground to your forwards. You might, if you're going to make a mistake, make it outside the corridor. Good finish by Goods.
Yeah, concerns there on the faces of a few of the boys, including the head coach at Hawthorn, Peter Schwab, as he watches the scoreboard indicating they're really struggling. 3 goals. Sydney, Hawthorn yet to score. Gathered by Vandenberg. Woods Then Tallis goes wider still. Vandenberg had ran on, and this time Rawlings makes a certainty of it. Oh, that was a very definite pass, wasn't it? There's not much margin for error when the ball comes in as fiercely as that. It doesn't really give the forwards a chance to even hold the ball softly in front of themselves. And eventually the Swans would be reasonably satisfied, because that looked a promising build-up for Hawthorn, and we see the boundary umpire to throw it in.
Just watching down here, sorry, Hutto and Robbo here. The Hawthorn got 4 players warming up to come on the ground. Crode leaving the ground now.
And it's Stephen Green, Dougie, that's come on to replace Trent Crode. Kirk working, Harford there. Our umpires are Mark McKenzie, Brett Allen and Michael Vozzo for this game, which the loser exits the competition for this year. The winner will go over and play Port Adelaide at Football Park next week.
It's a cruel game, Robbo, isn't it? Jade Rawlings got the Bronx cheer after taking that mark because he dropped the sitter.
Yes, the supporters, they're right onto you. Wren doing the ruck work, Schwass. Now the umpire's found an infringement against Sean Wren and has paid the free kick to ball from that ruck contest. Not much protest there from Sean Wren. You can see there.
He's holding the jumper over the shoulder.
It was pretty self-explanatory, wasn't it, when we saw the replay? Jason Ball with the footy. He's at half-back for Sydney. They've kicked 3 goals straight. The Hawks haven't troubled the scorers as yet. They might have a chance here. Lekas, he steps over the line.
Gee, he was a bit lucky.
And it will be thrown in right on centre wing.
I've always thought the Swans have always been a great tackling side because of the rugby influence from New South Wales. Been taught by a lot of people around that game.
Crawford trying to have an impact. Chick just banged it onto the boot. Maxfield got lots of space around him. Had time to let it bounce for him. Now he can go through the middle. The acceleration of Maxfield and a fire pass up the centre half forward. Graham did well. Attacked it. Kirk, Swass, Tallis put the head down. He jumped on it. Play on. Vosdyke had an impact. Quick kick. Didn't go anywhere. Chick. He really does have to lift for the Hawks, and he started pretty well. He's had 5 possessions so far. Barry, and he always wanted the boundary line, and he found it.
Gee, Barlow was lucky there. That's unnecessary. Sometimes the umpire, who was right on the scene, can award a free kick to the player who was pushed.
So it's a half forward from the result of that little shove. The ball out of bounds. Now the Swans getting it up to half forward. Graham looks like he may have been moved on to O'Loughlin already. Free kick going against O'Loughlin to Mark Graham. They played a good game last week. Swept down. That's not a great kick. Made it tough for Thompson. Hall, good ball. He attacked it ball. He kept on going. Overrunning it, Fosdyke. Went again. Lekas. Just starting to heat up in these contests now. And we've got a bounce in the centre of the ground. The Swans just making less mistakes at this stage, Shorey.
And it's called pressure. That's what it is. Paul Williams is playing on Shane Crawford. Just interesting, the taggers are playing on the taggers. Tony Woods and Jared Crouch are going head-to-head.
So a bounce. Thompson over the top, Wren. So Wren's still running in the ruck. Williams has already been pretty good. O'Loughlin measured the kick. It was good. And Kirk, an unlikely player to have had such an influence in this opening term, coming in for his 6th possession. He's had 2 marks and already kicked 1 goal. He goes for a pass. It was a shocker. The decision to pass wasn't great in the first place.
Hutto,
the execution was terrible.
Sorry, while you were describing that, Wren came off the ground and Nick Holland is on for Hawthorn. So at half-back, Lekas, the little left foot kick, gee, that was a lot better than Harford's attempt a few minutes ago, which let the Swans in for a goal. The football is with Barlow. He goes out very wide. They're looking for Barker, but disciplined play from the back by the Swans. Desperate stuff by Nichols. Umpire's found a free kick. I didn't think there was much in that, but the umpire was very close to the action, and he's awarded a free kick to Billy Nichols at half forward for Hawthorn. Gets it in the Holland direction.
In the back.
No free kick paid. Schwass comes away with a footy, throws it onto his boot, kicks it out of the danger zone, back towards half forward. The ball left behind. Nichols is there though, and he gathered it beautifully. Tried to spear it into Crawford. Maxfield was there for the Swans. Handball wide. A wonderful take by Schwass. Much to the pleasure there of Tony Shaw. Schwass has kicked the half forward. Player on his own. Put it down. Goal, Paul Williams. No, he's missed, and he's missed badly. Out of bounds in the right forward pocket. He's disappointed.
Well, look at that. That is skill personified. Under pressure, knowing the contest is coming, and still to avoid the contest, just shows you what a class player Wayne Swass is.
Magnificent setup here for the fans. The closed roof, it's quite blustery out there. Kirk, can he get his boot to it? No, he's dispossessed, and desperate play by Tallis has forced a rush behind to Sydney. They lead 3-1-19. Hawthorn yet to score. Sean Wren on the bench, Nick Holland on for the Hawks.
And Thompson's gone into the ruck, Robbo. That means Holland's playing at centre-half forward. Andrew Dunkley is picking him up.
Are you surprised that they made a mess of that kick in too? We'll get back to it. Tallis has time. The Hawks just look so unsure of themselves compared to the Swans at this stage. Harford's delivery was excellent, and Rawlings, that'll make him feel a bit better. I was going to ask you, are you surprised that Rawlings is playing forward, Shorey?
Yes, I'm very surprised. Maybe trying to test them out, the tall defenders of those Swans.
No one around him. Took a bounce when perhaps he didn't need to, and the delivery as a result was a bit rushed. The spill from Saddington. Vandenberg found a way through, somehow worked it back. Chick, been their best so far. What a kick that was, straight up and down. Barkey had back in there. Oh, Dixon, almost an accidental mark.
Just very quickly, boys, look like Daniel Harford may have hurt his back. He's in a bit of a problem at this stage.
Now, he's got to be patient here, Ben Dixon. He should know it's his right side, preferred side for a left footer. Just slowly come in, and we'll see if he runs out and maybe banana kick.
Well, perhaps his second most important kick of the season. And like his most important one, he puts it through.
He's going to have a few important kicks in this game, isn't he?
Well, it was a very important kick, as we see Daniel Harford come off, and he's in pain. But just a great mark, and you're right, I don't think he was meant to be the one. Good play by Vandenberg to push off the contest. Chick just bombed it up. That's when you call out yours, because you don't want to be in it. But that was a good mark and great conversion.
Well, Harford off the ground for Hawthorn. He's been replaced by Loney. Good bounce at the centre, taken away by Thompson, and quite straightforwardly in towards the full forward area. Playing it beautifully in front of himself was Andrew Dunkley. He's done well too. He's got an awkward kicking style, but that was quite effective. Williams had a little bit of space after a couple of bounces. Williams goes for goal. This puts the pressure on the Hawthorn defence. Right up in front of goals. Goods. He's found a free kick. I didn't think there was anything in that, Tony. I mean, you've got to make blokes earn kicks. This is a dead set certain goal now.
Well, we're probably going to have a look at a replay here, but if he retards him over his shoulder, it has to be a free kick. Now, he hasn't even gone for the ball. I think it has to be a free kick. He grabbed him around the shoulder. No doubt, Robbo, for mine. Once we have a look at that now, and again, it's only consistency, but he had to run into the ball, and he was retarded from doing that.
Well, Goods will kick the goal. No trouble with that. He's kicked two. 2 goals to Adam Goods, 1 to Brett Kirk, 1 to Ryan O'Keefe, and for Hawthorn, they really have struggled, and they've only got 1 goal as a result of their efforts to Ben Dixon. I wonder, well, the player in front, he's doing the shepherding work. Is there any of that? Is there any infringement against Goods? His left arm round the back there of Jonathan Hay. Nothing in that?
Right.
Well, the free kick was awarded to Goods, and he kicked the goal.
So Harford off. The Swans have brought Stafford onto the ground at the moment. He's being matched up by Joel Smith. They'll have to work that out, the Hawks. If the Swans get it down there quickly, they might get a real mismatch here with a small on a tall. It's a wobbly one. Chance for Goods.
Oh, smart play.
It was clever. Williams, Chick, and the Hawks it is that can advance out of defence. Thompson, as we said, he's in the ruck now with Wren on the bench. Great delivery for Nick Holland. Important that he takes a mark and gets some confidence. Kick 4 in the VFL last week for Box Hill. Wants it in long. Floating back there in the square is Barker. Saddington the spoil. Shawble couldn't handle it. Crouch could handle it. Saddington collaborating well with Dunkley. And Swass goes for O'Loughlin. Pretty well placed kick. Smith now on O'Loughlin, so that's an interesting matchup as a result of Stafford going on the ground. Quick kick is out wide. Cox and Kelly. Maxfield attacked it well. It's close to the line, and now it's out. I wonder whether Rawlings...
Not out yet, I don't think.
Now it is.
You were right, Hutto. What did go over back where...
Just one thing about the Goods is Hawthorn walking around looks a bit better than when he went to the bench. One thing about Goods, when he runs for that ball, he's done all the hard work to make good positions, so he should be given leeway to go at the contest, Robbo. That's the only thing.
Yep, fair enough, Tom.
Free kick to Thompson. It was high contact from that boundary throw in.
Just a little bit of an impact. Thompson going in and Wren going off.
Exactly what I was going to say. He's given him an impact. A bit more mobility, I'd say, around the ground.
By the way, back in the square, Graham's gone on to Stafford. There's the Hawks with a low kick, a poor kick. Their disposal has been pretty bad so far. Stuart Maxfield.
Swass.
Running against Chick, he was off. The umpire said he was off. He wants to get back on that left, sets it up. Stafford comes into the play. Ball waits down. Thompson's ball. Kelly tried to barge his way through. Got ball to boot. Bolton, there's a free kick. No, it's a ball up. I heard the whistle.
It's a good... Just before there, Shore, you're talking about Stafford and Graham. I don't like that matchup, particularly the height of Stafford.
Well, they wouldn't have anybody else to go with him. You wouldn't swap Hay off O'Loughlin, Dougie, so they're probably well caught with that.
Don't forget the i7 Sport website. At the moment, the Hawks under pressure, playing for their football lives for this season. Swass just shrugged off the Barlow tackle in time, put his teammate under a lot of pressure, but Leo Barry somehow got through, so they've kept it alive, the Swans here under duress. Well, I thought it was a clever kick. Big Stafford's going to have to work hard. Found it tough. Loney out towards the boundary line. Bolton pursuing it. Lekis, and the ball is out. Well done by Bolton. Like a few of his younger teammates, played just the one final. That was against Essendon back in '99. The Swans were thrashed by 69 points on that occasion. They're doing a lot better so far today. Goods and Thompson. Creswell went to himself. Clever because Shawble was standing by. Goods can get it in there. Ball's pushed forward at the moment as an option. It goes longer to fall forward. Again, Kelly and Cox, and well read by Adrian Cox. It's a bit of confidence shown in the young man putting him on Paul Kelly, Shorey.
Oh, there's no doubt about that. One of the best players for the Swans, and he read that very well. Stafford had to get in there and make a contest on that occasion.
Out wide, Nick Holland, great mark. Talking about the confidence, that's will do him no harm whatsoever. Angelo Lekis kicks the ball in the Rawlings direction. Dunkley was there, coming strongly, well done. Great contest by both players. The Swans will come out on top, maybe. Dunkley and Saddington. Saddington does reasonably well. There was nowhere to go, was there?
That's what finals football's about, Robbo. Nothing wrong with that bump. People come to watch that type of football. You can see Nick Holland, he's had an impact as he come off the bench. Great mark.
Second mark, he's had a kick and a hand pass. That should be a free kick nearly, shouldn't it, to Daniel Chick? No?
Yes, it should have.
Umpire swallowed the whistle. Daniel Chick just looks bemusingly at the umpire.
9 possessions, Robbo. Daniel Chick.
Most dominant individual on the ground at this stage. Wayne Schwass has had 8 for the Swans. Williams has had 8 and Maxfield 7. Goods doing the ruck work, missed it. Taken by Tony Woods, deft little kick is good. And Dixon away from Dunkley is marked. This will be much more difficult for Ben Dixon. He's in the left forward pocket, being a natural left footer. On the other occasion in the opposite pocket, he was probably favoured, more so being the natural left footer that he is.
Great skills by Tony Woods. I don't know what Brad Seymour was doing. He was standing on the top of the square, and Dixon's his man. I think he's got to go back and take responsibility to have a shot on goal here, Robbo. They need a goal to settle him down.
Well, that looks as if it's the mission for Ben Dixon. They've only kicked 1 goal. The Swans have kicked 4 goals, 1. Dixon goes back and kicks across the face of goal, and the mark is taken back there by the beanpole, Greg Stafford, for the Swans.
Stafford's got O'Loughlin on short. He had Goods as well. We can stream out of defence. This is O'Loughlin now. He looked quickly in the rearview mirror, and then he went forward, surveying his options. Saddington pushing up the ground. Goes in short for Williams, as we mentioned. 9 possessions for Paul Williams. Kicked very well. He waited the kick beautifully for ball. Now they can go. Goods is still moving. Gets it in there live with the siren. Just ruining the Swans' last attempt at a goal. But they've been pretty happy with their opening quarter. They're in control at this early stage. 4-1-25 to 1 straight 6. He was.
Nichols and Holland are starting the second term on the bench. Nichols with 5 kicks and a hand pass. Holland, who was pretty good, took 2 marks when he had a run late in the first term.
So the second quarter from Colonial Stadium, the Hawks have gone back pretty much to how they started this game. Thompson playing as a forward, coming into it. Creswell off the ground, out wide. Crode puts the head down. He was one who went off in the first quarter. Goods, quick kick ball, went nowhere. Oh, Squash, he's been outstanding so far. Kelly with Joel Smith on him now. Smith standing up, he went straight for the boundary, but he didn't get there. Creswell, hurried kick, tough for Bolton, but he is pretty tough. Numbers were with Hawthorn. A fumble from Thompson. He let Paul Williams in, and he recovers and kicks poorly.
He's got blood over his left eye, hasn't he, Paul Williams? I thought there when he went to kick that ball. Yeah, he's got to come off the ground.
Well picked up, Ryan. Just wanted to have a look at Wayne Squash here. He's done it again. Protect his body, put his backside in where sometimes a lot of players put their head, and then just spun out of trouble. Well picked up, Robbo.
Well, that would have been just fantastic for the Swans if Paul Williams had been able to get through. He's had 10 possessions. He's been phenomenal in the early part.
And Crawford, Shane Crawford, his opponent, has had 4. And we can see Paul Williams. Just got the knee across the eye. Accidental.
I think Trent Crode working industriously there with a big question mark beside the industriously. Joel Smith to kick in. There's a great view down the ground from the camera behind the Swans goal. The kick in goes short into that right back pocket area, and it's taken by Barlow.
You're not saying unintentional, might have had a little bit of a intentional.
We'll have a go at anything to get the points on the board, Tony. And Hawthorn certainly need the first score of this term. Wide at half back. There's a push out. Now that's the softest free kick we've seen so far in this game.
I reckon Rawlings has been moved into defence. The runner just went out to him a few minutes ago.
Oh, well done there by Andrew Shawble. He could see that if he kept going into that contest, he was going to mess Saddington up. So he stopped just a little short. Saddington marking, able to run away and kick the ball in towards the half-forward area. At the back is Lekas, gathers, gets the handball to Crawford. Crawford with a little time to settle and then kick. Now that's the little left foot kick that is certainly to the advantage of the forward. Barker not quite able to gather it. The hand pass comes back. Matthews has got a bit of time. He steadies, kicks it out wide towards the wing and passes the players in that area. The umpire's seen a free kick. The Hawthorn player a little early, taking Schwass out of the play. Schwass to take the free kick. He is a marvellous player of this game, Wayne Schwass. One of the true greats. And he's certainly trying to make up for the finals that he perhaps thought he should have played maybe with the Kangaroos, and he's helping the Swans in their endeavours in the year 2001. Terrific mark to Stafford in front of Graham. Who spoke about the mismatch? Was that Dougie Hawkins? Because there it is, already evident. Stafford gets the handball to O'Loughlin. O'Loughlin across his boot. The mark has been taken by Crouch.
Well, this has come about by Paul Williams going from the ground because Crouch, they're putting time into Shane Crawford, and Shane Crawford did not get goal side of his opponent. Crouch went to him straight away when Williams went off, and you can just see Shane Crawford nearly came into the photo that into the picture. He had to go and stay goal side of Crouch.
So an opportunity for Sydney to get their 5th goal. Jared Crouch from only 40 metres makes an absolute meal of it, kicks it out of bounds on the full. Amazing scenes at Colonial Stadium. The roof is on, it's absolutely perfect, and yet we get some shots at goal that miss by that margin. Mark has been taken by Barker at right half back for the Hawks.
Just reminds me a bit of the Swans against Essendon this game. Dunkley over the top. That day as Williams gets ready to come back on, they had a lot of the footy, they missed shots at goal, they really controlled it but never put them away. And I know it's only early days yet, but in this second quarter they missed a couple of chances.
Good point. You have to capitalise when you're in control.
Wren, Woods. I think both sides employing an extra man across half back at the moment. Kelly could go short. He's been called on. Whips around Harford, who's made a pretty good recovery. Creswell, ball all under pressure, had nowhere to go with the outlet. Was that a throw? Oh, was that high? That was high. Barlow takes it, so the Swans made a meal of that one. Barlow's kick sort of in betwixt and in between. Well done by Rawlings. Provided Green with the opportunity, and he has taken it well. First goal of the second quarter of the Hawks.
Fantastic play by Stephen Green. gee, he kicks the ball a little bit further than his father.
I think he's a good player, this young fellow, and with more ground time, he's only going to get better.
Well, you can see here, and you said it, Robert, Hutto, you have to make and capitalise on your opportunities. Bad play by ball, played on, nearly threw the ball. He's kicked this ball from 52 metres with not a lot of time to balance. Fantastic conversion that gets the Hawks back into the game.
So the Hawk fans, they've got something to cheer about. They've kicked their second goal through Stephen Green. Ben Dixon kicked their other goal. Sydney 4-2 lead Hawthorn 2 goals straight. Barlow working hard at the centre clearance area. Tony Woods, that's a good kick out wide. And a little bit too far. Now the rush is on between Seymour and Dixon. Dixon he's one of those players, I think, Ben Dixon, that Gary Bacanara spoke about. He's very good when the ball's coming in forward, but when he doesn't get the ball or the opponent has already got possession, he's got to make sure that he works very, very hard. There's the young player, Ryan O'Keefe, who kicked the Swans' first goal. We'll get an update on his injury, I'm sure, and he went out with a knee injury early in the first quarter. Crawford hooks the kick to the danger zone. And is that a mark? Should that be paid Rawlings? It is. Right in front of goal, only 35 metres out for Hawthorn.
Very quickly here, Robbo, on young Ryan
O'Keefe.
O'Keefe, that's the one. The medial strain only, apparently, so he won't come back today, but will be doubtful next week as well if the senior Swans certainly win, but not as serious as we first thought.
Gee, Hutto, you've picked that when you said they haven't buried the opposition. All of a sudden, the Hawks, a couple of chances, they get 2 goals, and it's only 8 points the margin. Jade Rawlings kicks his first goal. The Hawks get their third. Sydney lead 26-18.
Well, on this occasion, it was just Jade Rawlings reading the ball better than Andrew Shawble. You can see it comes out of the contest. Again, just turning the ball over under a bit of pressure. Chick gets it forward, and a very good kick by the captain who's lifted in the last couple of minutes. And then Jade Rawlings just read it better than Andrew Shawble.
Well, I thought he'd gone back into defence, but obviously not. Rawlings kicking a goal. Plenty for the Swans to ponder now. It's 8 points the difference. And they have to lift. Little tap from Wren, didn't go to where he wanted it to. Saddington in the middle. Hay versus O'Loughlin. No free kick that time. Well done, Jonathan Hay. And he prevails, or does he? He doesn't really in the end. O'Loughlin prancing through half forward. Kicked it wide for Kelly. Joel Smith. The Hawks have lifted. Great judgment by Smith. And now they're streaming down the ground.
Gee, Adam Goods was good over there.
Tallis is called from through the middle of the ground. Smith couldn't hit him. Switches play though. It's got plenty on it. It's a good kick out wide for Thompson. Nowhere to go immediately by hand, so he went by foot. Dixon just bundled out of it by Seymour. Or Shawble a bit slow to get ball to boot. Had to work hard for it. The Hawks keep it alive. Dixon, the handball straight up and down. Seymour and O'Loughlin, I'm sure, will find the boundary line.
That's what Bacanara was talking about. Get it in there, Tony. And if they're going to get it back out again, by God, they've got it out with bruises, with arms knocked or legs knocked or whatever. Make them get it out hard.
Saddington, Harford, Thompson, Stephen Green, a chance from outside for Barlow. Good kick. Or Chick didn't try and take it on the full. Steadies, lines up and gets it. They're back in it now, the Hawks.
Actually, there was no doubt. I think we spoke about the nerves. All of a sudden, in the opening, whatever it is, 10 minutes of the second term, they've been better with their use of the ball too, haven't they?
Well, that capitalisation of having the control of the ball, great play again by Stephen Green at the Barlow. I thought Daniel Chick should have ran harder at that, trying to mark the ball, but he knew what he was doing. He was in control, and now they get the momentum, Robbo. This is a very important time for the Sydney Swans. Try and match them in the intensity at the ball.
And you can even see in the coach's box the effervescence there now. They're on the edge of their seats. They can see that they've got through to their players. And the players representing Hawthorn now have lifted. Paul Williams, who came off the ground. Bolton. Umpire's call play on. Crawford, left foot kick towards half foot. Chick will provide the contest with Saddington. Well done. Bacanara's got to the forwards because they're working overtime. Chick, can he get past Saddington? The little hand pass. It's kicked forward by Harford. Not quite far enough. It goes Harford again. Over the top there of, is it Crouch? And the umpire will bounce only 40 metres from the Hawthorn goal.
That matchup of Chick on Saddington, that's dangerous for Sydney.
Yeah, well, I think the body-on-body, Chick will have him, and also at ground level. But Saddington, once he's got a bit more height on him, you can see that the difference in height would be probably 3 or 4 inches. It's just the intensity the Hawthorn forwards are holding the ball in, as Robbo said.
40 metres from goal. Stafford gets first hand to it. Kicked away by Matthews, only as far as Crawford. You can see the look on his face. He made a rare error there. Dispossessed. Williams, short kick is all right, and O'Loughlin dropped it, but he may have been paid, has he? Can he get past Crode? Oh, he's good on his feet, isn't he? Michael O'Loughlin. He kicks it with the left, in towards half forward. Gathered by Williams. That was skillfully done too. Goods has the ball. The Swans have got to get a goal out of this to just halt the trend of the game. The Hawks have interfered. They've interfered, Joel Smith with Paul Kelly, and Kelly will take the free kick and put Sydney back in front, or put Sydney further in front, should I say, as the Hawks made a challenge.
I was going to say just before, Robbo, that they've been overconscious of Paul Kelly, and you can see he just held up in his run because he knew he was going to get under the ball. They haven't kicked the ball well to him today. Even that ball went over his head, but Joel Smith, pretty smart play by Paul Kelly to stop in his run at the ball.
Kelly going for his first goal.
He'll well remember a shot for goal against Essendon where he missed.
This is not a miss. This is straight through for a goal. Kelly's goal. First goal to Paul Kelly. The Swans have kicked their 5th. It's back to an 8-point margin in favour of Sydney.
Well, it's a 2-pronged position of having him at full forward against Joel Smith. I think that, like I said, they've been overconscious of him and they haven't kicked the ball well to him here. Paul Williams, great work to get it to Adam Goods, and that has to be a free kick. But having Joel Smith on the last line of defence would suit you, Robbo. Very good rebounder from half-back.
That's Joel Smith on the left, Paul Kelly, the goal kicker for Sydney, on the right. Tony Woods on the bench for the Hawks.
And Stafford has moved into the middle. He got the first tap. He almost got that one. He is looking much better today, Stafford. And that's great news for the Swans. There's a free kick.
This boy works very hard too, Bob.
He does, yeah, he certainly does.
50 metres.
Oh.
Now, this is against Crawford for abusing the umpire. I was watching Shane Crawford now. That, again, is where his leadership struggles at times. But when the free kick was given, all you could see was Shane Crawford turn his head and abuse the umpire. And here it is, the free kick for in the back. There was no doubt it was there. And he has given him a mouthful.
Well, young Jude Bolton has kicked 12 goals, 7 for the year. So the statistics are with him. And the kick is online. The Swans have counter-attacked with 2 important goals. That one from a 50-metre penalty. And it's 6-2, 38 to 4 straight, 24.
As we can see, there's no doubt about the free kick. Now, I'm going to give him benefit of the doubt, unless someone else ran across the mark or came in at a different time, and that was the cause of the 50. But if that was for mouthing off at the umpire, gee, I would take him off the ground and say to him, we need better from you. They've had 3 goals kicked from free kicks, Sydney, Robbo.
Yeah, Goods, Kelly and Bolton have all kicked goals from frees. And the umpire to restart play, 38 plays 24. Sydney lead by 14 points. It was 2 points, and before the Swans got the last couple. And O'Loughlin kicks it forward. Graham tries to play the percentages, but didn't get enough on that punch. It rebounds back in the area of Wayne Schwass. He's prepared to share it with Lewis. Little kick. Williams, can he gather his footing? Little hand pass. That was maybe a little overzealous there by Paul Williams. In confined quarters close to the boundary line, unsuccessful.
Well, that Paul Williams-Crawford matchup, Paul Williams has had 14 possessions against Crawford 7.
And save your energies rather than mouthing off at the umpire for your endeavours. That was Cresswell on the bench. Sydney centre breaks quite emphatically in their favour. This is Harford. Left foot kick, not bad. Barker not able to take the mark. Barker struggling a little in this game. He's had 1 kick and 1 hand pass. He's taken 1 mark and effected a tackle.
Well, he's struggling a lot then, isn't he, compared to his normal averages. And don't forget, i7sport.com.au. McAvaney's Monday will be up there tomorrow as Bruce looks at the first weekend of finals, and this one is shaping as the most interesting so far.
Well done by Stephen Green to get it to Barlow. Barlow over his left shoulder. No one home, and play on. That should be. And eventually Seymour. Schauble out wide. And it's kicked forward by Matthews into the middle. Gee, that was rough and tough by Vandenberg on Saddington. Schauble out wide. Maxfield can gather. Vandenberg's onto him. Left foot kick's all right. No mark though. Play on. Good spoil by Joel Smith. Schauble. Too far for Bolton. Back goes Lekas. He's got a player in support. That's Thompson. They did that pretty well. And out of there comes Tallis. He kicks it wide. He'd be happy if it bounced over because it was a 2-on-1 favouring the Swans. And Harford in a lot of trouble behind play.
Just then, Andrew Schauble had 2 chances to hit his teammates with handballs. He's never been a fantastic handballer of the ball. Had to improve on that occasion.
Chick gives away a little bit of ground. Back to Cox. Cox will steady. Well done. Very well done. If the youngster can do it, that's the lead that they've got to take. The kick came in from Crawford, but it was well judged and taken away by O'Loughlin. Goods is screaming for it inboard. He's got no one long. He goes in the long direction. That's lengthwise out in front of Ball. Punched away. Brilliant gather there by Crouch. Ball at ground level was excellent. O'Loughlin. Gee, they seem to have the numbers and they are obviously confusing the Hawks down on that forward line, but there's a good mark as Cox is being attended to by the medical staff. The Hawks repel across halfback. Strong play by Thompson. He crashed through the Stafford tackle. Kicks it out wide. Chick. Maybe a little bit of misjudgment, but able to gather. Then gets it off to Vandenberg. He's playing pretty well. Kicks into the pocket, and there he is. He's taken the mark, and let's hope it does the world of good for Johnny Barker. He's marked 50 metres from goal for the Hawks. Fosdyke coming on, and Crouch goes off. Thompson have a rest. Holland to come on for the Hawks. John Barker. They need a goal badly. Sydney 38, lead the Hawks 24. Holland, you can see, going down to the goal square. Barker will kick in that direction from 50 metres. Beautiful kick. How good's this? Oh, it's just gone off to the left and scores a behind. First score for John Barker and the first behind on the scoreboard for Hawthorn. 6-2 to 4-1 margin. 13 points in favour of Sydney.
So Wayne Squass, who's had 9 kicks, 2 handballs, has it at full back. Goes to himself, and then Stafford might be the eventual target out here. He's playing well. Schauble flies, so does Dunkley. Well done, big man. Stafford, terrific stuff. It's a great sign for the Swans. Williams up to Hawthorn. Lewis is on the ground. Couldn't take the mark. Goods versus Crone. Lewis applies to Shepherd. Kelly, strong stuff. Well done, Joel Smith. Stood up on that occasion. Crone just belts it away. Tough here for Maxfield. Hemmed in against the boundary. Adventurous handball. Wasn't too good in the end. Cox, and now the Hawks have got numbers around the ball. And up on the wing, this is Tony Woods. He looks up. Most of his players away to the left. He just bangs away. It ricochets. Barry called onto it. Dunkley had to get the handball away. Did just in time in the end. Look at Chick go through. He's going through strongly at the ball. They had the numbers, the Hawks. Woods hurried. Great tackle.
Barry was good too.
You're right, Robbo. He got a fingernail on that cot. You can just see it there. He just got his hand in to disrupt Wood's attack on the ball. Great efforts by both sides there.
It's great finals footy at the moment. The Swans in control on the board at the moment. 38 against 25. Not a great handball, that one. Chicky knows the boundary's there, and he knows there's a Swans player lurking. And it's Stuart Maxfield, who's having another terrific game. 6 kicks and 4 handballs.
Well, Daniel Chicks had 15 possession. I don't know what would have happened if he was taken out of the middle of the ground for the Hawks. Been brilliant in this first half.
Boundary throw in on centre wing for Hawthorn. Chance for Chick again. That's another possession that you can credit him with. Kicks it close to the line and bounces over about 40 metres around from the Hawthorn goal. Billy Nichols off.
You called it well down here, boys. Sorry, Robbo. The pressure down here is absolutely outstanding. Both sides have been terrific.
Well, they're playing for big stakes, aren't they? The loser exits the competition and the winner will play Port Adelaide at Football Park next week. Hawks trying to scramble for their 5th goal. 13 points. It's, I think, the amount of goals kicked, and we're past the halfway mark. We're nearly up to the 21-minute mark, basically, of the second term, and we've only seen 10 goals, so it really is a bit of a wrestle, isn't it?
Yeah, it's the way the Swans play. They just tighten it up and hopefully kick a couple of goals more than what you do.
Wren is being penalised. The umpire deemed there that was a throw. Schwass quickly onto it, goes out wide, and Stafford is marked.
Maxfield runs for him on the wing. So does Fosdyke. Stafford, as we've mentioned, is hitting some form. What a time for it. It's a good kick in the end. Kurt, so casually, so clever, can get it in there. Ball was one target, goes for Kelly and Smith, and Kelly, well done Smith, didn't rush. Kelly misjudged it slightly, and that's a terrific bit of delivery as the Hawks branch out, coming out of defence. Barlow
played
over
well.
the top Wren. I think he's about to come off the ground. Thompson ready to come back for the Hawks.
Barlow 10 possessions.
He's got Green inboard. He's got Cox through the middle and Graham, but he wants to keep it boundary side. Oh, look at that. Lots of Swans there. They should take this mark. Leo Barry.
That's
got
where
Matthews breaking on the other side. Sorry, Shorey.
That's where they're falling down, Hutto, across half forward. You know, Rawlings, Dixon, and now Holland. They need a lift from those 3 players.
Wasn't confident he could hit the target out wide, so he brought it back through the middle using Seymour. O'Loughlin's on for him here across the ground, and he is having some impact. Possession 13 for Michael O'Loughlin as Barry again's involved. Measured the kick, it's pretty wide, but it was good. And speaking of good, he's got it. Now he looks up at centre half foot. Saddington's pushed forward for the Swans. Lewis is down there. Ball's his target, and he's got it. He's so full of confidence, Jason Ball. He's had a terrific season, just outside his scoring range, you would think. Jason Ball kicked 24 goals for the year. He overdid it that time. Fosdyke, lots of Hawks around the ball, nowhere for Fosdyke to put it out to. It's a strange old kick. Crow, Goods, well done Crow, good desperation, he kept his footing. So Crow winning out. The handball was not great as it turned out. O'Loughlin, his handball was good. Maxfield goes wide. Kelly won't miss it. No, he does miss it. Just had too much on it that time. So Joel Smith being made to work down there, but so far he's just managed to control Kelly.
Well, they are overconscious, too overconscious of Paul Kelly. They have to find another option, the goal. You wouldn't want to be another Swans forward player in the forward 50 at the moment because they're not even looking at another option.
13 points the difference. About 5 minutes of actual playing time remaining in this first half. Ball, Chick, Kelly. Good hands, Fosdyke in a tight situation, straight up and down. Ball is desperate. He couldn't take the mark though. Crawford, the floating hand pass. Woods from a standing start. He did well with the handball delivery. Graham gallivanting around the wing. Can give it off to Green. He's got options. He's got Barker away to the right. Didn't hit him on the full, but Barker in the tight situation finds Dixon. He needs to balance. He does balance. And he's kicked. A very close effort, but it's just offline. 4-2 plays 6-2. Well, the Hawks are still well and truly in this game. 2 goals the difference, despite the Swans' flying start.
I know Michael O'Loughlin's had a sensational second quarter. He's got 14 possessions to this stage.
Kick in by Matthews. Goes out towards Harford. Saddington was there. A contest. Harford playing for the free kick will get it. Against Jason Saddington. Did a good job to spoil, and then Jason Saddington just losing his position there, and confusion with the tackle. The kick in towards half forward. The gather not quite taken by Seymour. Chick applying the pressure. The kick comes out. Crawford, what can he do with the hand pull? Too emphatic. The ball spills back towards the middle of the ground. Taken by Crowd. Crowd looks, delivers into the pocket. The kick really is to the advantage there of Holland, but getting back and making a good spoil was Saddington. Still the Hawks a chance. Dixon over the top, Maxfield. And it'll be thrown in. It's a free kick to Dixon. Oh, gee, this is crucial because Dixon is on his favoured side of the ground. He's a left footer, kicking from that right forward pocket. Plenty of advice from the fans in the background. Ben Dixon.
I thought that was play on. He moved around.
Perhaps not too confident about his ability to get the distance. He's going to bomb away though, and he's going to kick it all the way for a behind. 4-3 plays 6-2. Margin is 11 points in favour of Sydney.
And you can see the coach's box there. Stephen Nick, Gary Buckenara, Chris Connolly, David Parkin, Peter Schwab. barking out the instructions.
Wayne Swass has had 12 kicks and 2 handballs. You mentioned O'Loughlin earlier, sure. He's had 8 possessions for the quarter. Creswell's kick out wide. Goods is playing an excellent game as well. One of the best I've seen him play for a while. And if these blokes fire in the finals, if they win today, they could still have a say in who wins the flag. Goods a wobbly one. Ball.
Shoot.
Pushing to the front. O'Loughlin leads for him at centre half forward. He was too late with that kick. Goes longer. It's towards Kelly again, but Lewis, as it drops short, against Graham. Here's Kelly. Here's Kelly. Out wide. O'Loughlin. Can he design something here? He can. Oh, he just misses Bolt. Green was under pressure, but he knew he had Hawks surrounding him. Joel Smith, this is the run that he's been giving them all season. Hasn't been giving it to him today. He's been conscious of Kelly. Cox goes wide. Barker takes it, looks up. Rawlings is back there. He's trying to lead into some space. He goes wide for Dixon there and up in the same flank as he was a minute ago.
Crawford's in the square.
He's on here, Crawford. He's just got a mark and he just can't. Or can he? He can. It's a mark. He couldn't run on and get back. It's got to be a tighter angle than that. He marked it right on the line.
He'll be kicking from behind that behind post.
Now, just take your time. All he's got to do is walk up to the man on the mark, and the last couple of steps come out, and he has to try a boomerang here. Whether he tries his left foot, I don't know, but just nice and slow. They can't come in until he opens up the face and comes around.
Well, that's what he's doing. And it looks good off the boot. He's put the plan into practice. 5 points the difference at Colonial Stadium. We're in a final now.
Well, I was critical of Shane Crawford earlier in this game. Gave away a 50-metre penalty. I don't know who was manning him up on that occasion. As we can see, him going to take the mark inside the line. Great test, great camera work. I think you'd have to pay that one, Robbo. And here, this is a smart player, a player in control. Well thought out.
Yes, terrific work there by Shane Crawford to get the 5th goal for Hawthorn and bring the margin back to 5 points. Harford dispossessed by Creswell. Umpire saw that as an infringement. Well, in a tight game, I think free kicks like that are a little questionable. Brett Allen and having a bit of a chat behind play to Daniel Chick, but Harford kicks the ball to half forward. The spillage and the work done. The umpire's found a free kick, has he? It's going to Loney. He's a beautiful kick too, this boy. Oh. He'd be a chance to kick a goal from here.
Gee, they could be in front by half-time.
No doubt he could kick the distance. And like his brother, he's a very good kick and a long kick, Nathan Loney.
Just got to hit the ball beautifully, doesn't he? We know that he's got the ability. He's got to get it spinning right. He goes back and delivers, gets underneath it a little, kicks it all the way to the goal line, and at the level where Wayne Schwass was able to knock it over. It is a rush behind for Hawthorn. 5-4-34, 6-2-38. The Swans lead by 4 points.
Great play by Leo Barry then. No doubt about the free kick. Leo Barry put his body on the line for the Swans.
So the Swans have got just under a minute to try and score a goal before half-time, as indeed the Hawks have. Swass delivery for Kennelly, the young man in his first final. What a day it is. He was great last week against Brisbane. No mistake with that kick. That's great stuff. Saddington decided to go. Once again, Kelly versus Smith. And again, no result for the Swans. Might be a goal. Kelly! Smith was desperate. Saved the day. Kelly's hurt. He is hurt. He won't try and show it, but he is hurt. I reckon he knows it. The Hawks trying to get it down. Kicking backwards for Joel Smith. Kelly couldn't move. He is gone. He couldn't go to it. It's either a really bad corky or something worse. Might have pulled a hamstring.
I think it might have been a groin there, Hutto, for poor Kelly.
Well, dramatic way for this first half to end.
We can see the contest there, and well tapped on by Greg Stappen. Paul Kelly stretching out, and you just wonder, not a lot in that. It didn't look like a corky, whether he just stretched too far.
Yep, I'd say he's
and I would,
pulled the hamstring.
Yes, I would say he shortened up very quickly then. No
Well,
contact other than him stretching out, and he just grabbed behind his leg.
He'd never done a hamstring until this year, and he did it in the Ansett Cup up in Canberra, and he's missed 12 games for the year, and I'd say that could be it for Paul Kelly.
I'll say it now, Hutto. Although he's gone off and it's a tragic loss, they have gone through him on most occasions. It could open up for someone else. The only thing, Joel Smith might be released, but in some ways those things can work in your favour.
I wonder what effect it'll have on his teammates. They've already lost O'Keefe, and we saw that Kelly just couldn't move when the ball came down in his direction. So the Swans are in front, but boy, have they got a few problems now. Plenty for Rodney Eade to think about during half-time. There's Ryan O'Keefe. He kicked the first goal of the game and then was taken from the ground injured. 2 goals to Goods. He's the only multiple on the field. The Hawks, they'll have a feeling that they're a big chance here. They trail by 5. It's 6-3 to 5-4 at half-time.